Thanks a lot, Kenzie, for joining me today. Thank you very much for your time. First up, I'd like to introduce to all of you Kenzie Dysli. Kenzie is basically a very famous horse rider, a horse trainer, and an actor. Plus, she's the current lead of Cavaluna's show that's called The Legend of the Desert, where I happened to meet Kenzie as well backstage. And she was very nice, actually, very friendly. So today we're going to be having a conversation, a chit chat with Kenzie, where we'll be discussing how Kenzie is basically spending her time during the lockdown. How is her work life in Germany, her experiences of working in Germany, how the events industry in particular is suffering because of this pandemic, and what are the tips probably that Kenzie has to share with us all during this lockdown or the times of isolation. So I think we got to be talking about random stuff in between naturally as the conversation goes on. So without further ado, Kenzie, welcome and thanks again for your time. So tell me, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine. I already did some workouts, and we are all a bit with the situation, a bit worried, but kind of waiting what's gonna happen, and trying to make the best of the time you have in the lockdown. Like, I really try to enjoy every internet thing I can do, and still I'm going to the horses, so I'm not standing still. I really try to still do stuff to improve.
That's great. So you're keeping up with your practice? You mean like you do the training stuff and you do your own practice? Like you're keeping like both of them, like training your horses as well, or you just do like your own training?
No, I do both. Today in the morning, I just do some workouts, which I also do sometimes online. I do it with some of the Cavaluna girls, which are also acrobatic and dancers and fitness trainers. So we just meet and share it with the people on Instagram, and make a class. And we try to do it every day. Not every day on Instagram, but we try to really to improve every day our fitness training, because if tomorrow they say they're gonna start again the show, and you were like 1 month eating chips and staying in the room.
Exactly. So you got to be always on your toes. You got to keep on practicing every day. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Exactly.
Right.
You have to keep your body fit, and you keep your muscles and everything. And also the horses. The horses had quite a bit of a time now where they didn't work so much, because in the beginning it was more tense, all the situation here in Germany. Also, they didn't want to go to people to drive only if you have to go to work or you have to go to the supermarket, nothing more. So I couldn't drive to the horses in the beginning, but it's a bit easier now. People are getting a little bit, I think in Germany it's one of the countries where it's more soft, the quarantine. We have quarantine, but people can go out. We only have this that we cannot be with people. We have to have 2 meters distance. That's really like you really have to have it, and there are always also policemen controlling it, that the people don't go in groups and don't stay together. But if you keep the distance, you can go actually wherever you want. I mean, the places there are locked, but the supermarket and also and when you want to go to the horses, the stables, they are open. Some people told me they have hours to go to the stables. Like in the morning, there are you put your name and you put the hour, and the people come. One come in 1 hour and the other come in the other hour, so you don't meet. And it's also
you don't cross paths.
Exactly.
Okay.
And but we don't have it. We have this Cavaluna stable, and we are not a lot of people. We are 5 people, and we have a lot of horses. And we basically just try to avoid to touch each other, like for our own interest. We don't try to touch each other, but we don't have any time. And now I'm trying to go not every day, but every 2 days to the horses and keep on training them. In the beginning, I wanted to have them the relaxed time a bit, because I thought like, okay, it's actually not bad for the horses to have
a break. Yeah,
because it's a lot of shows. It's every weekend the same, sometimes 4 or 6 shows. The horses were tired. It's normal. It's work.
That's true. Yeah.
it's like this. And I said, okay, well, maybe we'll, in the beginning I didn't thought it was so bad, so I said, okay, maybe we have 1-2 weeks no shows, so I keep them calm and I give them a little bit of holidays. But now I'm seeing that it's gonna be longer, so of course.
Exactly. But is it like a phenomena that the horses they kind of like also miss performing? Like, do they show some kind of symptoms that okay, we've been doing it like for 1 or 2 years, and all of a sudden now for the last 2 months we are not doing this publicly? Can you see that? Do they feel something like that?
Yeah, the older ones. Funny, the older ones.
Ah,
That the younger one not so much, because they are interested in every kind of things and everything is new.
okay.
They're more distracted about a lot of things. But my older ones, one I retired from the shows, and I can see he's really sad.
Oh my God.
When I go to him and I just pet him to take him to walk, he's like giving me the Spanish walk and looking like this and putting the tongue out, wanting to show himself, and he loves it when people come making pictures of this
Yeah. After the show thing, yeah.
after the show. And he just, because this one horse I say, which is older, he was a film acting horse. He was this Austrian star.
In Ostwind. All
Ostwind,
right. In all of the parts, or we're going to talk about your films as well, but Ostwind has 4 parts, I guess, right? So
I
he acted in all the parts.
Yeah, well, I started with 1, 2, and 3. There's 1, 2, and 3 was only my, well, not only, but the main horse was only my horse, and some stunt horses for when the horse jumps and fall down. They came for one day. A stunt horse would just fall down, or would for a big jump. They came one horse for a big jump, but the main rolling days, while we were rolling the movie, you have 3 months. So my horses were always there, and I was always there the whole this 3 months.
Nice.
And just the part 4 and 5, there 4 was still with James, with the old one, and 5 I was not involved, only as an actress for a little bit. So
All right.
5 is not really I was not so much inside, but 1, 2, and 3, it was really
You're completely
a
part
lot
of
of work. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like as these like stumble upon this topic of your film. So probably, why did you tell us about your film experience? Like, I just want to mention to everyone that Kenzie worked for a very popular German film called Ostwind, which is called Stream. What's the English name of that? Like, it's Windstream or something like that. I think Windstream. Yeah.
I think.
I think so. Sorry, I'm mistaken the name, but Ostwind is a German name, and it has was so successful that they had like 4 parts of the film. So Kenzie was the official. You could say her horse was used there as its main horse that Hannah used, right? The main actress in the film. So how was your experience working in the films? Like starting from the first part, like how do you get in touch with the production team, and what stunts were you required to perform? Actually, I can tell you one thing. Like my experience, that when I saw the trailer of the film, I could notice from your hairstyle, like when in some of the scenes they show the girl on the horse, so I could guess that that's you.
Yeah, well, I had all the time. How you call it in English? Fake hair.
Like a wig.
Yeah, exactly. I had the whole time a wig on, and the hair was not the same of the girl.
Right.
My hair was a little bit darker, or I don't know.
All right, yeah. She has redhead. She's a redhead, right? I think so.
But not originally. No, she's blonde. It was all colored also.
Oh, they were colored. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and every year they color it, and different people color it. So for each 1 or 2, or for each part of the movie, it was a bit different, the color. So
all right. Okay.
but yeah. Well, I started with these films. Actually, I was in a horse fair in Hamburg, and I did some shows there with my 2 horses. There I had 2 horses, 2 black horses. James, which is the one I retired now, the old one, and Attila, which I'm still using. He was also in Cavalluna. And Attila is a stallion, and he's a lot of energy and a very impulsive horse, and might be also aggressive. He's really like a fight horse. And James he's a nice horse. He's just a cutie, a nice one. And for all this liberty stuff, even if you don't have no idea, you can use that horse, and I can tell you, say this, touch this, and he will do it. He will manage to do it, and he's
Nice.
really safety
Very
horse.
collaborating horse.
Yeah, really,
Okay.
that's one horse, really. And but it was very good to have these two horses. And in these shows, I used also the two black horses. And after the shows, there were a girl coming to me asking me, well, she just saw me with this liberty training, and it was very nice, and I have two black horses. It would perfectly fit into a movie because we need a girl who doubles actress, which is very small. She was 14
Right.
when we began the first part,
Mhm.
and you are small. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you could be the perfect double, and you have the black horses. Would you like to join us into this movie? And I was like, okay, well, in these big horse fairs, a lot of people come from all over the world, and many people tell you a lot of things and invite you to the places, and you say, yeah, let's see. So it was the same for me. It was like, okay, it sounds amazing, but yeah, we will see.
Just an offer. Just an
Yeah.
offer. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I didn't really believe it, but 1 week later, they called me from this film company from Constantine, and told me that the director and producer wants to come to see the horses to my place and wants to see me. So
Cool.
okay, so
That's
okay,
great.
you can come. I'm here. They booked flights. They came.
Okay.
2 days later, they were coming to my place, and they came for 1 day in the morning, and the night they left again. And they saw these two horses, and there was immediately in love. She, the director, she is a big horse lover. She's Katia from Garnier. She did a lot of films, also in Hollywood, in America.
All right.
And she really liked these two horses, and also because they're so different, you can use them for the different scenes, and you can tell it's the same horse. You know, they look very
Cool.
similar. So
Exactly.
2 months later, I was on the film set, and all
That's
this.
cool. So it was shot in Germany, right? The film.
Yeah.
Where was it shot exactly? In which city?
Kassel, you know, Kassel is really in the middle
Yeah.
of.
And exactly. I know Kassel.
Exactly.
Yeah. In Hessen. It's in Hessen, right?
Hessen, yeah. And
Yeah.
around Kassel, you have a lot of forest. So, and it's perfect to shot
Oh,
movies
right.
in the middle of nowhere. You have no phone connection.
Like a picturesque, landscapes, and you can have really nice shots, horses like running through the forests. That I could see in the film as well. And that's how like you ended up on the sets, and then it was a huge hit, and then they made you like part of the film, like series, and then you were featuring in every coming series.
Exactly. And then of course they didn't know that this film would be such a success, so they didn't thought about the next part and the next part. But when it came out, it was a very good success, and they started to plan the next part. And then the director came to me and said, well, obviously we want to have you again. What can we do for the next part? I said, what?
What kind of stunts they mean? Like what kind of stunts?
Yeah, what for the horses? What new how would say in German you say Herausforderung, new steps you can do, something more special you can do with the horses, because we already had one Liberty horse, which is Attila O. James. And now what can we do? And I said, yeah, well, obviously if you have one horse, now it will be nice to have another horse and to do something with two horses.
Exactly.
And that's where this white horse with the blue eyes came out. And I bought the horse, and I only bought it for that film. I had a half year, 6 months to prepare the horse. And then we jumped into the second part of the movie, and this young horse I trained only for the movie. He was really
Wow.
6 months full training, and Zazu, the name is Zazu of that horse, and he really did, for his first time, he was 4 years old, he did an amazing job.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the second part, and I felt very proud because it was my ideas inside that movie.
So you were part of like the production conception team.
I told the director, now it would be nice if she calls them, if she does something with the horse next to her, if she says also some words she say, explaining, when the grandfather explains the girl about the horse training, he said, well, we have to build a 2-person tribe with the horse. Like you were the
All right.
leader. There's some words I told them to say that, and it's nice to see your horse on the movie, but it's also nice to see you sense also on all the movie. You know,
Like your concept behind
yeah,
the film is actually yours. And that sounds pretty good. And do you still have this white horse with blue
yeah,
eyes that you trained for the film? You
yeah.
have it.
He
All
was
right.
too. I also bring him to Kabul.
That's pretty cool. And then I wanted to ask, I think you mentioned before that after like participating as a trainer or the concept person behind the horses in the film, you also were offered to act in the film. Like
Yeah,
you acted in which part?
and the second part and in the fourth. What was the fourth? Yeah, in the second part and in the fourth part, I was acting.
All right, and what kind of role was that? Unfortunately, I haven't seen
Yeah,
the
no,
second
well,
and
and the
third part.
second part, it was just a little role called Charlotte, and she was in this place where Hannah was also, and she was just going there with the horses and loading up her horses. She was she was not a nice girl. She was just going away because this place is shit and she doesn't want to stay there anymore, and she was a bit like stupid. And we had dogs, so I take my little black dog also. I was this perfect dressage um, girl, you know, with this little
With a
horse
dog and a
girl.
lot of
Yeah,
horses.
a
Yeah.
little bit.
So the
Actually,
character was
something
made for you. Like you were portraying yourself in reality. Can we say that, right?
yeah, well, but not this diva like. In the movie, I was more diva like, not the diva.
All right. I mean, like with the props that you had, like your dog, your horses, your stable, and everything
Yeah,
that you had.
yeah. That was
Okay.
the
That's pretty cool. I just want to add, like, to everyone that Ostwen is a very popular film. So you do watch this film, and especially I recommend my audience films to improve their German. So probably they should watch Ostwen, and in German we can watch the English subtitles and could help in learning German as well, and could see Kenzi's brilliant performance over there as well. So I think you mentioned dressage. So I'd like to know that you're an expert in this dressage, this equestrian form of horse stunts or riding, you can say that. So could you probably like elaborate us, like what is this freedom dressage that you're an expert of? So I saw you performing in Kowloon, and that was mind-blowing. But could you tell us more for our audience, like what exactly it is?
Well, dressage is just the main training with the horse, which you always see the people in with this black and white, like a smoking kind of a smoking signal, a bit big horses, and the horses are like dancing.
True.
So it's like dressage is really like the main work you do with the horses to do these different movements, to have a nice walk, a nice trot, then to improve the trot, to make the horse dance, then to gallop, and to have a big gallop, a small gallop, and then it's like the basic of everything is dressage. But after dressage, you have more different types, and I'm not the main expert in only in dressage. Like I use dressage because it's the basic for all the trainings, and then I specialize myself in different things. I like the Spanish way of riding, the Spanish dressage. So I start with the dressage, universe dressage, and then I go to specialize myself in the Spanish way. You saw me maybe in Cavaluna with the stick and with one hand riding, and with the horse doing like fast movements and stopping and going back. So
Exactly.
that's more movements for the Spanish dressage. Spanish dressage is especially for useful work with the horse. Spanish people have
For example.
Spanish people have still the cows and also they have also bullfighting, but after this bullfighting they have the cows and they have a lot of land and they need the horses to move the cows from one place to the other, and to maybe to put them into a cage or maybe to take them out, like just to move the animals, they use horses because it's more easy. And then they need the horses to listen to you, to ride with only one hand, not two hands, only one hand. And they need one hand free to use, maybe to take a lasso, to take a stick, to push them to go, to open and close maybe doors or fences.
Like to make these sheep or goats enter the barn. Like
Exactly.
to direct them.
They make
Okay.
them enter the barn. They need to open the fence, and
So do
they
you sit on the horse while it, because in the freedom dressage you're standing, like the horse is free, but in the Spanish dressage you stand next to the horse, or do you sit like
no, you're sitting on the
you
horse.
ride? Okay,
The
you
horse,
ride it. Okay.
yeah, you're riding the horse. So
Okay,
the
but with
dressage
one hand,
with
and
one.
then it's a stick in the second hand. Okay.
Or whatever. The hand needs to be free for whatever you use. You have to do, because it's a dressage to have a useful horse. It's a training
right.
horse to have a useful horse for your daily work. That was the main
Right.
thinking
Purpose of it. Okay.
Spanish dressage. After it was idealized into competitions, and you have just movements to do competitions with. But the main idea was it was a useful dressage.
Cool.
And then you have the liberty dressage. This is what I
Exactly.
do in the beginning with black horse. Then you are next to the horse, and the horse listen on your movements and on your sounds. After it's how you train it, the dressage. Dressage, it means training. It means somehow
Okay.
training for the horse. So
Okay.
liberty dressage is to train the horse that he listens to your body language. Horses, the animal horse has no sounds to communicate. Maybe just this when they sound to call each other, but they don't talk. So they need to use the body language.
Body language. Okay.
We have to, as a person, when we are face to face on the floor with the horse, we need to use this body language to communicate with the horse, to take, and normally we people have this body language in us, but sometimes now with all this, with the phones and with internet, and we don't use our body language anymore. We only talk really face to face anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So we maybe lost it a little bit. So I also train people to for especially for this body language, how important it is in your life, and how important it is in working with horses, and how much horses can teach you also.
Wow.
But
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
yeah, I start now a new like workshop for people who wants to who are studying to rise a company. To, I don't know how you say it in English. I try to subscribe it somehow. People who are studying and to go into a company and to be the chef of the company.
All
so
right. Okay.
To know about how to act with other people, they need to know about how to move people together, how to make people work, how to make people improve, how to deal with people daily. So they're like if you compare with horses, they're in a tribe. You have one leader, which is always the one who is the strongest, and which gives the rest of the tribe the security. So horses normally, if they feel that they're not safe, they want to run away. And in this tribe, they feel safe because there's the leader.
Okay.
The leader gives the horses also always something to do. Every horse has a job. So this horse are always on the outside. They keep the outside safe. You know, if they are outside in the in a
field or somewhere like that,
there might be a tiger or something coming. You never know. You know, so they have to have the outside the horses, which are just taking care there's nothing coming inside and nothing dangerous. Then you have the ones who are leading to the food, who know where the food is. Then you have the older ones who take care about the younger ones, and so you have everyone has this. And you as person, when you do this training and liberty, you need to know what kind of horse have you in front. Is it a horse which is how you say strong horse? Is strong a bit? He wants to be a leader, or is he a horse who's more a bit devout, who
submissive?
Submissive, exactly.
Exactly.
So that's how I need to act with him. If he is submissive, it's easier for me to train him, but I need to give him a lot of confidence. I need to be also, because in this tribe, horses have also friends. So
Right.
all this what the tribe gives the horse, I need to try to give the horse to make the horse feel safe with me. If this black horse in the show is scared about people around, making pictures, about sounds, about something falling down, about something, because he don't know. Horses, the first thing he think about is run away. But he
Right.
didn't run away. He's maybe nervous because he noticed all the sense of all the people watching you. Then in the beginning they're nervous. But when you come to him and you talk with him, like with the body language, you call him with your body language, you make him move, you make the signs, and you are always the same, and you are secure. How to say, secure. So you give him this calmness and this security, and he will stay with you. And you are taking him around with you in this place where he don't know where he is, or where he maybe don't feel safe, but he
Amazing.
feels safe
Amazing.
because of you. So it's a lot of thinking and a lot of training. It's, I think, for me, one of the hardest and the beautiest dressage to train with the horses is this
That's
liberty.
amazing. You know what, I'm basically like thinking about all this explanation, the way you're explaining that how the horses they react and how they exist in a community and how they have friends and they have a leader and they take actions and they're submissive and they're attacking. It actually reminds me of us Homo sapiens. We
Yeah,
actually perform exactly in a similar manner. And like you said, that if someone is trying to find their own startup, so it's a leader and how you build up your team, how you delegate the tasks, how you make them work to achieve a certain goal. And so that's pretty cool. So it means like you are training the leaders to perform better in their jobs as well.
exactly. To perform better in their job and to know more about the people they are working with, or they will be working with.
They're all working with
To improve also, if you have other leader, if you're people who always fight, how can you improve that they don't fight, that they concentrate?
communication. Yeah.
How is the communication, and that they concentrate on something else which they want to be better than, and it's useful for you, so you can really change a lot of things, which is the same training with horses, exactly the same as with people. And
That's amazing.
it's very nice if one of this, when the students come and come to make the seminars and start first time to work with a horse, because we make them work with a horse, and it's funny to see when the horse was really like looking at this person like, I don't take you serious. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't take you serious. Then you see like, yes, you're not a strong leader. I mean, you see it on a horse.
You can't even spot that. Yeah.
And then others coming inside like very nervous and being there, and the horse like, oh, what? Ciao, I go. I said, okay, you were too strong. You're just making all scared. No, but they will not be behind you. They will go away. They will do what you say, because you have a lot of energy, and but you are scaring them. If in the truth, they will not be behind you. They will want to run away.
They would be scared of you. They would not like to love you, to be with you. They'd be scared of you. Yeah. And the art of the leader is that you should like to follow the leader. You should not be forced to follow the leader.
Exactly.
It's basically the skill. So if I could imagine that, like, for example, if I want to find my own startup and I want to become like a CEO or co-founder of my startup, so I can enroll for a course with you and get these techniques learned with real horses, how to communicate and kind of like discipline my staff.
Yeah, well, we are a team. It's not only me, it's me as the horse person, but we are a team who is basically, I just start now, just to don't mix up, start a bit from the beginning. I have a team around me which is working for me, and we develop this online seminars and courses for people learning this liberty training with the horses. And we're doing this since 3 years, and it's working very good. it's working from the internet. People like now we are chatting, and we have maybe 1,000 people inside the course, and I'm chatting with them every week and every month, and we have different levels. And now we started to try this this what I say with the training of company leaders. And we will start it for the next year to do it really active. We did it once. We tried it because I had many people asking me, and so we did a try, and now we will start to do it more active for the next year. I think after Corona, because
yeah. That's really cool. So for the leadership courses, how can one enroll in these courses? Like to visit your website, or how can they get in touch for these offers?
Yeah, visit the website. In the website you have everything, but you maybe not now. We are not selling the leadership courses because we don't have the full concept worked out yet. So it's not for now that we are selling it. But I have the girl which is working for me. She already did it one time, and if someone wants to do it very fast, like she has some courses, and there are also other people who's doing it. But we will make a full course, but I think for next year.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's a very nice concept, and I love this idea of how the horses, they resemble with the Homo sapiens.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's super amazing. Now, what I just have one thing in my mind, that when I saw your show, when I saw you performing, I loved like all the acts you did, but one of my favorite ones was the one in which you had like a one-on-one fight with the tribe, the last one, in which they encircle you first, and then you go back, and then you rush at them, and then you attack them, and then you push them to the wall. So what is that style, and could you please tell us something about that?
That was basically dressage. That was the classic.
Okay, that is a classic dressage. Okay.
Yeah, you have it with both hands, and you are doing these movements with the horses, which are just like impressive because you're really working them out, like with the Spanish walk really high, and with the passage, and the side gallop. So these movements are dressage. And
because they were attacking you, like in the first half, they were with their swords, and you were also attacking, like defending yourself, and then you pounced them.
As it is a show, we are always mixing with the one hand, and with the sing was more Spanish dressage, because my horses are trained in everything, like in Spanish. In the classical, you have to have it always. It's the base for everything. Then you have the Spanish, and then you can go into jumping, and you can go into trick riding. You can many other things. So the part where they're attacking me was all the Spanish people with the sticks, and I run and take another stick, put my one hand, and then I go fast with the horse and make big turns and jump and really fight with the stick. It was more Spanish. And then they went away, and I let the stick fall down. I took my two hands, and then this other one with the black horse came, and he was a classic dressage, German dressage rider with a big black horse.
And the lights on the horse, that's the one, right? The horse was lighting. Yep.
Well, yeah, it's shining. Yeah,
it was shining. Yeah.
And yeah, that's the classical dressage. And then
then you attack, like you went really fast, and you pushed them to the wall, and then it kind of like all of a sudden the horse had brakes, because that was it was not like a huge arena like where you were performing. You had to brake immediately.
Yeah, we always have the heart here, like
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
But it's a kind of training also. Like I really needed to train as hard. I did it before because I like to really run fast, and to make my horse, when I put the legs in the front, like they tie the legs, and I say ho, that he really like stops immediately. And maybe I have it a bit from my father. My father was a Western rider.
Exactly.
It's another kind of dressage. That's the person. And they have this sliding stops when they really stop hard. So I really like this sharp stops, and if they slide, and I really like it. maybe have it a bit in my blood.
That's pretty cool. Sorry, I forgot to mention about your dad, because I saw one documentary about your dad when he was in his this hacienda that you have, and he was there with his two dogs, and he's sitting in the barn, and he's explaining about the Western style, and how he's in the barn, and he's rotating there, and the horse is following him. So that was a very nice. It was kind of like a very a retro kind of a documentary, I think probably from 80s or something like that. But that was really nice. So your father is one of the pioneers of Western writing, right?
Yeah.
Considered to be in the US and as well as in Europe.
He was the first man actually in the beginning who bring the quarter horses from the US to Europe. Before, the quarter horses were not really known in Europe, so he really was writing to Europe.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So you, probably maybe just now we're talking about him. So you could share a bit about like, how was your childhood? Like, I mean, I could imagine that like you grew with a lot of horses and dogs in that beautiful farm. So how was it like for you growing up?
Well, it was a bit how you say. It was a big farm with a lot of horses. My father was a cowboy. He was a real cowboy. Like you have it in the
Clint
film.
Eastwood, not like Clint Eastwood. He was just an actor. Your dad was a real guy.
He was a real one. He really lived this lifestyle. And my mother was from Egypt. I don't know if you hear them.
Exactly. Yeah. I definitely know about it. Yeah.
Yeah, she was from Egypt, and she rised up with Arabic horses, and she did like racing horses in Egypt, but not professionally, just because she likes horses. And they started they started to live in they wanted to live in Spain, in the south of Spain, Andalusia. That's where we have this big farm.
We're going to talk about that later. Yeah.
And in this farm, it's a hotel. We have a lot of clients. And when I was young, I had my horses, and I always wanted to ride the big horses. I never wanted to have a pony. I always wanted to have a big stallion. And my father learned me a lot about riding, my mother too, but my mother was, and here I get again into this dressage things, because you have this Western riding dressage and the Spanish one. My mother was the one who rided Spanish dressage, and my father the Western.
All right.
And I took from both. I still know how to ride Western, but I found that the Spanish way is more elegant for a girl. And I really, I saw it was for her when I saw her riding on this beautiful horses with this round neck and elevated and this
silky hair. Yeah.
So elegant, so nice. And my father was really cowboy. He was with the lasso and with everything working. And
I've seen him. Yeah, he really looks like one.
And so I decided to do both in the beginning, but after I specialized more in the
Spanish one, because you think it's more feminine.
Yeah, for me, yes.
All
and
right.
He's still living on the farm, and he's doing the same as my daddy. He's doing the Western riding. So I think we managed to do both. One is doing the one part, and the other one is doing the other part. So
that's pretty cool. So now you mentioned about the Spanish estate farm, or the farmhouse we call it. In Spanish, it's called hacienda, right? You have this. I remember the name, Hacienda Buena Suerte.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I remember it. So, I mean, I've seen the pictures. I've seen this lovely video on your channel as well about it. Like, it's a resort where you can go, you can book your riding lessons. You can just stay there. You can be even a viewer. You can just watch people riding.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a holiday resort. So, what would you like to tell about this hacienda, this beautiful farmhouse that you live in?
Well, for me, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. I really love it. I don't want to miss it. Now I'm working in Germany, and I'm a lot of time in Germany. I miss Spain. My brother's there, living there. He's raising the farm, and I think it's a big place for to make holidays. You can ride the horses. You can do many different styles, which is rare in the horse stables. Normally, you have one stable to only this dressage, the other stable to only Western. They don't mix, and we have
Cool.
thing. So people who want
Okay.
to start with the horses and just don't know really which direction to go, they can just try everything. They can do the Liberty with us, they can do the Western riding with us, and they can do the dressage, Spanish dressage or classical dressage, no matter. And we have the horses, different type of horses for everything, and different teachers for everything. And
Mhm.
we have everything together, and it's a family company. Like
Mhm.
my parents, both of my parents passed away, so now we are running the farm, and my brother now mostly. And even if you have a big family, there's a lot of big families coming, and even if they don't, not all of them are riding. The other part of the family which is not riding, they have the mountain bikes, they have the big pool to go, they
Mhm.
have just around, they have how you say, climbing school
Right.
and paragliding
Hiking.
schools and everything. So
There are
even
lots of activities there. So
yes,
not only limited to riding. So
no,
and it's like if someone books like a training session or just as a resort, so it's kind of like a hotel inside as well. They're gonna stay inside this hacienda.
it's a hotel. It's a big
All right.
hotel. We have a lot of, I think, 20 rooms now. We have a big house
Mm-hmm.
you can rent it also for longer time.
Mm-hmm.
Many German or Swiss people, which in the wintertime say it's too cold in Germany, they come
Yeah.
to this big house and they stay for 2 months. Sometimes they bring their own horse and they have the little house with, well, little house, it's a big house with the I would say the stables of the
Saddle. Okay.
just a paddock just in front.
Mm-hmm.
So they come and bring her own horse or their own horses and really stay the winter with us in Spain, which is very nice also. If you
That's
can permit
amazing.
yourself to do that.
And anyhow, Germans, they love Spain.
Yeah, yeah.
They go a lot there for holidays. All right, that's very interesting. So now I'd like to ask you a bit about your work life in Germany because you're working in Germany as you mentioned before. So currently, in which city are you based in these days?
Now I'm near Düsseldorf.
All
I
right.
yeah, and near Düsseldorf, it's in a little town, and I'm just here because I have my boyfriend here.
Mm-hmm.
So I just moved here to Germany. We have this little house together, and it's easier now with the work of the show because, of course, when I started to do the show, 6 months before, I needed to train a lot. So I was already in Germany. Then 9 months show, so you have a lot of time in Germany. So you cannot stay all the time in hotels. So that's why
Exactly.
yeah,
You need
moved.
to have a home there.
We moved
So
together.
how? Sorry. Continue. Sorry.
It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
So how is it with meeting with your family? Because of course now you can't fly back to Spain, right? So it's not
No,
possible. You haven't got an opportunity to meet them since this pandemic broke out, right?
no, no, I haven't seen them again since all this coronavirus thing. But well, we try to make video chats every day. We talk about FaceTime.
Hmm.
I think we have a contact like really every day about everything because also my brother, he was rising the farm. We have a lot of people helping and working for us, so it's he's not alone. But still now the situation, it's hard for us because people need to stay in Germany, and
True.
mostly of the clients we receive in Spain, it's people from Germany. So and now this time now it's for us high season, so usually it was all fully booked out.
Full.
We had a
Yeah.
lot of people now canceling, and the farm now has no clients, and he's with the team which is working there always. The team stays there, and he is there. His girlfriend is there, and well, it's a strange situation. You have the whole farm.
Mm.
You have this 80, 90 horses, and we are just there alone. Like, okay,
And the horses as well. You know, everything is disrupted, and horses must be thinking like, "What's going on in the
yeah,
world?"
have holidays in a strange time where they never had holidays.
Exactly. This is their working season. But I want to know, like, I want to take your thoughts on this whole events because you're affiliated with the events industry like Cavaluna, and
Mhm.
you go in a lot of fairs or horse shows or other events. So you see it's like almost like $1 trillion industry. So how do you think, like, how will it make a comeback after this pandemic, and how do you see the current situation, like people who are working in Germany in this industry, how are they suffering?
I think they're suffering a lot. I think especially this events and horse fairs, they already put a lot of money in all in the this productions and in the shows and into the arenas. They already booked. They have so many things already going on for all the shows and also the fairs for all the preparation. And now they just have to stay there with crossed arms, and they're losing a lot of money. Of course,
Mm,
people which already booked the tickets and already paid, they also ask you, "Oh, we want to have our money back." And but if we don't make shows, if we don't go on, the Cavaluna also has a problem to pay all the people back.
of
So
course.
it's really, really a bad situation. They, as we know, are like no one really knows now what's gonna happen, but we are trying. We are trying to just go on after after this this epidemic, after everything just it's over more or less. We hope until summer that to just start there again and go on, and of course try to talk with the people who booked the ticket, that they just save the ticket, the money is not lost, we just save it for the next date. We really try to do all the cities again which we lost now. We don't
Hmm.
want to lose the cities completely and let the people sit on their money and on their tickets, of course not. But they're really asking to the people to be patient, because we all have to wait, and then we want to come back and everyone can use his ticket for the cities they already booked. So
Exactly.
that's
So
for us now. But yeah.
yeah, it's quite terrible. But what about like the all, for example, like the students or the professionals who are involved in organizing these events? They are not mainly the performers, let's say.
Yeah.
So are they like are they being sent to Kurzarbeit, which is like
Yeah.
the restricted form, or how are they being dealt as being like part of workforce in Germany? How is the impact on them?
Well, most of the people are sending to this Kurzarbeit, to this short work period or work time daily.
Yeah.
Not every day, only some days in week. So they really, really, really put down the time of the work, so they get also much less salary.
Right.
Um, but the good thing is that the German government, they have like a helping program where you can into put yourself inside if you have a small company, or if you are an actor or event or people, you can ask for help, and they have different types of concepts to help this different companies, like little companies or
Mhm.
artistic people like me, as an actor. If I lose a lot of money, like I can ask them for help and they will give you help. I really I haven't done it
All
because
right.
I think it's really reserved. It's the money for the government. I mean, obviously, in the future, after we will have to pay it back with Steuern, taxes, and I don't know what.
Exactly.
And I think it's a good help, but for the people who really, really
Need
need
it.
it. So
Exactly.
I will not ask it if I'm not saying like, oh my God, I don't know how to get my next food for the next month, you know. And if I'm
Mhm.
not like this, I will keep myself. I will just quiet. I will just try to not put my money all over and wait. But I will not ask if I don't need it. So I just
Definitely.
and
Um,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, but these people who are working, for example, in these offices, they are actually being pretty badly, hit
Yeah.
hard by this pandemic, because some of them, they even lost their jobs, especially if you talk about the hospitality industry, because if you go like you do one show in Dusseldorf for the next in Stuttgart, so a lot of people, they live in the neighboring cities, and there's no show in
Mm.
their city or town, so they move just for a day or two, they book a
Mhm.
hotel, they live there, and they
Yeah.
watch the show. So that's also
Yeah.
kind of like a big loss,
No, people are
indirectly.
people are sitting on their costs completely. People which, and also the people which are working in the offices. I know about a lot of people which have just been sending home, like saying, "I'm so sorry, but I can't hold you." And
Exactly.
but there's also the good thing in Germany. People understand each other. People try to help and understand. I have the comparison because of Spain, and my brother's telling me from Spain. It's incredible. It's
Really.
completely different. A lot of people lost their jobs much more than here in Germany. In Germany, they try to put it down, to put just a little bit
Hmm.
less hours, and to make it like to reduce it as much as possible. But
Hmm.
maybe still the people can live. In Germany, they always try to
Balance it out.
each other and to balance and to try to move on. In Spain, of course, Spain was not so rich than Germany, so Spain has a bigger problem. But really, Spain have other methods. Sorry, say methods, other restrictions
Methods.
methods.
Okay.
They really much more people lost their jobs. They just cancel a lot of companies. They just lock them down. How you say insolvents when the company says that.
Oh, they were bankrupt. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So many companies already said this. Maybe it's not the case, but because they know that maybe it will come, they just did it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and the police and the government in Spain, it's so strict. People cannot go out of the door. People are
Oh,
really,
really?
really locked into their houses.
Entire country or some particular region?
No, entire country, all over
Oh
the
my,
country.
yeah.
We have the farm, so we have our farm, and it's
Yeah,
a lot of place we can. My brother, they go out and they walk, they ride, they do. But imagine the people which are in the cities in a little
one room
um,
apartment, you
yeah, in a
know.
big apartment. They cannot go out. They're not allowed to go out of the house. And if you go out, the police arrest you, and you have to pay in a lot of money just because you were walking. You need to have a bill that you were in the supermarket. If
Hmm.
not, you have to pay the how to say the
The
amount,
fine,
the fine. Yeah,
fine.
you
Yeah.
have to pay the fine because you are not allowed to go out of the door.
And
It's crazy.
that's really hard because if I
Yeah,
talk about Berlin, like I am now in Berlin, and
mhm.
here if I go out right now, so I have a really nice park next to my apartment, and it's full. You know, if you would talk like probably like 4 o'clock in the evening, there would be a lot of people, laying on the grass, walking, cycling, playing
Yeah,
football.
Berlin is
And
wide
I
open.
actually made some videos about that as well to
Mm.
show like the life in Berlin, particularly how Berliners are taking it. They are pretty chill, they're pretty relaxed. Although I personally think that they should be a bit more conscious about it
Yeah,
because they should not negatively use this freedom. They should still try to be a bit more, I would say, reserved, especially during these times.
I think it's not the one, not the other. You really need to yourself need to be careful because you don't want to go this epidemic more around. So you have to keep the distance. You have to, if you want to go out, maybe yeah, okay, go out, but don't go there where all the people are, because I don't know.
There's a chance. There's always a chance.
Yeah, and in Spain they're too hard. Like in Spain, it's crazy. You have
Yeah.
you have so many people in these little apartments, which you have maybe 5 people inside.
Mm.
Students, they are sharing apartments, only there for sleeping, but now they have to be inside there, and you don't have place to go. Maybe you have a dog, and you have to put out the dog down, and you can only go in front of your house, like to the next tree maybe, and then you have to go up. You cannot walk there. You're not allowed to walk on a street. It's
Not
incredible.
even a walk, not even for a run or a jog, nothing
No, no,
altogether.
nothing.
It's bad.
I was
What?
thinking now.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to Spain, and I was thinking how I can go back to Spain, just because I have some horses there still in at my home, of course, and I have some horses, 2 fillies with the girl which is working with me, and I was there, and I said, well, I wanted to try to use the time and start this little horses, these fillies, which are now in the age to start.
Hmm.
But then I thought about but I talked with my brother and I said, well, but if I'm with you there, can I take the car and go to her place and to work the horses there? And he said, no.
No,
If
not
you
at all.
come, maybe we can. There will be a way that you come, but you are not allowed to drive somewhere. Nothing. It's
That's
really
pretty harsh.
hard. Yeah, it's
That's
really
pretty
hard.
harsh. And what is the current situation in Spain regarding the cases, like especially in Andalusia, in your part? Is it being controlled? Has the curve been flattened, or it's still rising, the number of affected?
I don't really know it, but I think it's still rising. Here in Germany now it's quite controlled, but
Yeah,
in
but the
Spain,
number is still rising. It's 130,000
in
case, yeah.
Spain,
But the deaths are controlled.
in Spain not. In Spain,
No,
they're saying a lot of people, even young people, even people my age, your age, and you
they're
don't
still
know
being
why.
hit by them.
Yeah, and also the hospitals, they're full of people, even in the corridors.
Yeah, in the corridors of the hospital.
The people are laying on the floor and dying
Uh,
there on the
that's
floor.
terrible.
Because they don't have places. They don't have so much places. People are. One of my friends, she said to me, my uncle had this virus, and he called the hospital. They picked him up, and she never saw him again until she couldn't take any news from him. She went there to the hospital to ask and to call and to ask, but there were no information about this patient, nothing. And she got a call, or they got a call, telling them that the patient, you say, patient,
Yeah, the patient. Yeah.
number, it's called this name. He just died a week ago,
Oh my God.
and it it was her uncle, and he just died, and
Terrible.
a week ago, and no one told her, and no one told the family. But not because people don't want in Spain. They are also sorry about all that, but they are overloaded. They are overloaded with
They
people.
don't have the capacity to treat them all. But how is, in general, the health insurance or the medical system in Spain? Of course, like Germany has one of the best, as we can see now in the world. But how about the Spanish health insurance system?
It's there.
Okay, I got a bit of idea now. How is it?
It's working. Well,
it's there, but on a pause.
yeah.
All right. So I think that pretty much says a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say anything
Right.
more.
But I'm not going to ask you more about that. But I'd like to know something a bit more. Okay, let's start a bit more positive in this, times of crisis. So I want to know, like, what kind of tips, because we all know that you are a very big influencer as well. You have like approximately like 100,000 Instagram followers as well. So what kind of tip would you give people who are now facing isolation or lockdown? What kind of useful things they can do in this time to be more productive?
Well, I think it's really the time to get more into all this social media stuff. In the beginning, I thought, well, social media, yeah, it's there and you use it and it's good, it's useful, but we don't have to do it. We don't have to be all the time on these channels. But now I think like it's really useful and it's really good to entertain you. And I did a lot of different courses about via Instagram or via just social media now with Zoom or whatever. You can really improve yourself and doing courses like that and chatting with people and learning more. I mean, some people start to study now, maybe some different things just about the internet. And I think you can do a lot of things with the internet now, and you should go more inside. I think it's a bit the future, because even here in Germany, all the people are sent to house office, like home offices. People are working from home, all the things which they are doing in the office, and people are working better in the home office.
Yeah, they are more productive.
They're more productive. So really, the companies, they said, well, maybe we will keep on letting people staying home and working home because they're more productive than if they come to the offices. So I I think it's really the time to look into the future from the internet and about all the social media options we have, because we have a lot and we can do
Definitely.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
And, so-
I actually keep on watching your workout videos. I really check them a lot. They are pretty good. So, I mean, I could recommend it to all of you as well. So you can go on Kenzi's Instagram handle and you can find like a lot of interesting workout videos there. In the end, I'd just like to ask you that, have you ever performed like in the region that where I come from, like in South Asian region, in Pakistan, or in India, or in Bangladesh, or any of these countries, or do you have any future plans to go and perform there?
the nearest part I have been was Dubai. I was
Okay,
living and training in Dubai for a while.
so you did a show similar to Kavaluna there, or what kind of show did you do there? Just a training.
I was working. Was the personal horse trainer for the sheikh. For
The Amir of Dubai.
yeah, and it was very good. It was a good experience. I'm missing it also.
Oh, really?
It was really a nice time with and they have wonderful animals, wonderful horses. Also, they have a lot of different animals. They have a big
I've seen their lions actually. They have lions.
lions,
Yeah,
tigers, and it was amazing working with them. Amazing working with this with all the animals. I could also touch the tigers, and when I went to the palace of the sheikha, the very kind family, really kind
Mhm.
family. When you hear like sheikh family or something, you might think that this people, they don't see normal people, you know, that they just overlook you maybe. But no, she really we had contact from the phones and WhatsApp, because she told me what she wanted me to do with which horses, which training. And she was really nice and really kind, and also the manager and everyone there was all very, very careful with you, really like, are you feeling good, you like the work
That's
here?
nice.
It
That's
was,
nice.
for me, I can say nothing bad, and there's nothing really. It was amazing. It was like a dream. It was a beautiful work there. It was
That's
really nice.
great. So yeah, in the end, I just wanted to ask you that what are your future plans, especially immediately right after this pandemic, which we hope that it's going to end soon. So what are your future ventures? Would you like to share with us?
Well, future adventures is well, now the main thing is to finish Kavaluna and to
Mhm.
do finish all the shows. And but my program is really to improve more the online seminars. I'm just doing now this online workshops, and today actually is the first day where the new online workshop, which goes 1 year training, is selling. Like, we have 1 week of selling, and today
Mhm.
open the first day, so we are
All right.
selling until 1 week. And it's working very good. People from all over Germany and German speaking people for now can buy it. And my future plans are doing everything on English. So my future plans are doing all these workshops and online seminars I do, to translate them to English and to do a higher level of liberty training also. So that's
Cool.
my plan now.
So
There's a lot
Kavaluna and new online seminars are coming up.
of new online seminars, exactly.
That's cool. And a personal question: when are you coming back to Berlin for a show? Because I'd really love to see you perform again.
Well, I think next year we're coming back.
Next year. Okay. That's every year, right? In the city, you come back right after a year. All right. So yeah, Kenzie, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate that. And stay safe, stay healthy. And thank you everyone for joining us and for watching this conversation with Kenzie. If you do have any questions, you can just write in the comment section and I'll share the Kenzie's YouTube channel's link, Instagram handle, so you can also ask questions to Kenzie. And in the end, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching this session. Thank you, Kenzie. Bye
Thank you.
bye.